Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video. Greetings everybody, guys. Let's take a look at Bitcoin as usual on Monday. This week probably we could provide more updates on the cryptocurrency because you can see some activity returns on the market, and maybe we will have more reasons to make an update, because on the previous 2 weeks, as you know, we provide updates only on Mondays because market really stand flat. It's no really objects for discussion exist in the market, and no needs to make an update war in the previous 2 weeks. So right now, as you can see, on Friday we see the spike up on the Bitcoin. It brings no changes in our long-term perspective, and no really damage to our long-term scenario that we have on the weekly and daily chart. So they are still stands bearish, but it could change the short-term setup. So it means that within the few sessions we could get the upward continuation, a bit deeper retracement, but you should take into consideration that Bitcoin currently is a very specific market. It's very thin. It's very low liquidity on the market stance. Speculators have not big really interest with this market, because if you'll take a look at the Commitment of Traders report and see the total position on the Bitcoin on the futures, you will see that just few hundreds of the contracts on both sides. There's no changes in position mostly since the beginning of the year, and it means that any pool that who mines the Bitcoin and have some amount of the cryptocurrency on the hands could trigger the action in the market. So any person, any society in the pool, mining pool, who owns some moderate amount of Bitcoin is really could do this, just due to the thin market. Because and that it means that to predict some action on the market that by the technical analysis that really has no liquidity, it's really could be the challenge, and it makes overall analysis on technical analysis on Bitcoin in the current time not very reliable, or at least we could say it could be really changed by some activity from the owners of the Bitcoin. So but still, we will try to provide you some view on the situation that we have currently. So yes, on the daily chart we see some spike up. Market hasn't quite reached our targets. So first target, as you remember, we have on the 4-hour time frame chart. It stands at the 30 even. This is it based on this ABC top XOP target. It's right here. Ultimate target on the daily stands at 28 even. This is butterfly, and we think that it should be reached just because of the failure of the hand shoulders. If you remember, first we were watching for this hand shoulders pattern, but as soon as market has failed to proceed higher with the ABCD action, drop below the lows of the right arm, we said, well, it's very probable that market will gradually continue move lower. So this scenario still stands on the table, because to break this view, market has to move above the 43 even top and change the tendency of the swings of the forming lower lows and lower highs. This is really big distance to this moment, and that's why we currently do not have any reasons to change the scenario, our view on the daily chart. Meantime, on the shorter term, we'll take a look at the 4-hour time frame chart. What we have here, we have the previous tendency. That's our ABCD pattern that I have mentioned. This is our target XOP. With a spike up, market has formed bullish reversal swing, because take a look here. It was lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, and that has created higher high. So greater high than compares to this one. and this causes reversal swing. Since market was trading in a long-term bearish tendency, the bearish momentum is still strong here. That's why the next step after this spike, we will be watching for a deep retracement. Very probable this retracement will reach the 35 even area. That, in fact, by our analysis, this is the clue to further development of the situation on the Bitcoin. So that's the next step that we're watching for. So retracement somewhere to the 35 area. So this is deep retracement, and you can see this is the previous support and resistance, natural support resistance area. So this previously was the lows, breakout, resistance, and again this will be support. Next step is to watch for what will happen around 35 even. If market will be able to hold here, we could get reverse hand shoulders pattern and a classical ABCD retracement right to the 618 resistance, somewhere to the 38 area, or better to say 38.50, 38.90. So that will be next step. If market will fail to hold here and start dropping, breaking these lows, it will mean that bearish tendency still stands intact. No hand shoulders will be formed, and very probably the market will just proceed lower. So the tendency on the lower lows, lower highs will be reestablished, and be prepared for a downward continuation. This provides different type action for different traders. So if you're watching for taking the long position, your trading plan suggests waiting for a drop to the 35 and watching for bullish reversal patterns on lower time frames, on the 15-minute chart, for example. If you will get the butterfly, reverse hand shoulders, double repo if the drop will be fast. Well, that's your choice for possible taking the long position with the target around 38.50. That's for the bulls. If you're bearish, you have your bearish view on the Bitcoin, you have two choices. First one, you are also will be watching for 35, but if you will get the bullish signals here, you do nothing and wait for completion of this retracement. Conversely, the breaking of the 35 is also will be signal, so it will mean that market is continuing downward action. So the bearish traders should watch for either breakout of the 35 area or waiting for a completion of this ABCD pattern. On the hourly chart, guys, here's what we'll be watching for. This is spike up. We have kind of the ABCD action that we'll be watching for. It shows that OP stands somewhere around 35.20, and it's also very close to the 618 support, 34.80. This will be 618 support. This will be 35.20 is the OP target to the possible downward action. It also will give us the kind of the guardless 222 buy. That's for the bulls. So let's keep watching what will happen here. Personally, guys, I was not able to find a reason and explanation what really has happened on this spike up. No big news have been released. So if you know something about the rally on the Bitcoin, you could share with our formers in our forum on the topic. Because I just check around the media and was not able to find reason estimating the background for this rally that we got on Friday. So that's our short-term view on the Bitcoin. As you can see, it doesn't change the long-term analysis yet, but in the shorter term, it could provide some reasons for trading.